The Frugalist is a time-honored achievement spanning all kinds of Resident Evil games past and present. But what does it mean to be a Frugalist? The answer is simply to complete an entire playthrough without ever rolling up some Zaza to heal or inhaling first aid spray duster. Basically, we must survive the horror completely sober, which is the true horror here. And that's what will lead us into today's video. We're going to be going for the Frugalist achievement in Resident Evil 4 Remake the easiest way possible. Unassisted. I know, but you have to understand, this S Plus Pro video is driving me absolutely insane, and I needed something easy, okay? I did start with a fresh file at least, so just calm down, alright, just calm down. Enjoy the video. We start out stylishly with our pinstripe outfit in Chapter 1, and run our way through the beginning section before running into our first enemy in the basement, which goes down...
No fucking way.
Appallingly easy, then make our way out of the basement and to the village proper. Naturally, like every playthrough, we must fight for our survival here since this is a fresh profile and we will not be able to shoot the bell. We collect our free shotgun, of course, and run around trying to avoid as much damage as possible. Dr. Salvador gave us quite a hand as well as he carelessly swung his chainsaw around. I also noticed this little doghouse for the first time. Reminds me of that one Silent Hill meme from years ago. The flaming cow came raging out of the barn and must have finished off what little enemies remained for our enemy counter, because the church bell rang shortly after, allowing us to move on to the farm still damage-free. In the farm, I went ahead and shot down all the blue medallions for some future help from the merchant, and then broke into the barn a little early by shooting the padlock from this window, grabbing the gear, and then effectively taking out Mr. Pigman with the wire trap down below. All in all, the farm area was very smooth and painless this time. I made it a point to grab a clockwork Castellan I had been missing from this chapter on my way through the next area and took my first bits of damage because of it, as well as some seriously close calls. But other than that, we're still looking healthy, so I ran straight through to finally come across Luis. Starting off Chapter 2, all our equipment is very rudely stolen from us, but we make it a point to get it back. We stealthily eliminate most of the enemies in our path, and I was even extra careful by knifing the bear traps in front of the door, until we can turn the dial, which opens the door to our things and a bunch of those no green herbs. We're clean and healthy now. We don't need that to survive anymore. We'll be skipping the merchant for now because he doesn't have much for us. Up next is the Pink Mist Valley, where we're going to blow up this explosive barrel first, and then make our way up the ladder in order to collect the emblem needed to get out. Then, we fight our way up to the next lever, which opens the gate out of the valley we're currently in. This was completely painless, large in part to it being unassisted compared to previous runs I have done of this area, and makes me wish I never started a pro challenge. Salvador in front of the Big Cheese's home uses his chainsaw to his advantage very well, but we're able to get the better of him with the nearby tripwire. Inside the house, we solved the Los Illuminados orb puzzle to gain access to the Big Cheese's bedroom and grab the Illuminados key in order to close out Chapter 2. Chapter 3 has us heading back to the main village with our newfound key, but not before saving our doggo friend, regardless of it giving El Gigante more health later or not. Back in the main village, we shoot the lock to this door from afar to be able to get into the door much quicker after the building here collapses, enabling us to avoid the dogs that spawn in and yet somehow still get awkwardly grabbed by an old man right outside the door we need in. We stop and sell some things at the merchant to include those pesky healing items, and also repair our knife and grab the bolt action sniper rifle with a scope accessory for some future endeavors. I desecrated some graves while running through the church graveyard, but that's just about all I did in the entire area. I ran past every enemy up to the next room, where tragedy fell. The enemy pushed me, and I also completely forgot about the tripwire, so naturally I'll be blaming it on the guy who pushed me. Fortunately, unassisted your health will recover from critical, but now because of this we'll be operating on red to bare minimum yellow health the remainder of the entire playthrough, so I very carefully dispose of the upcoming dogs and head straight to the swamp. This time I do remember about a certain tripwire and managed to make it to the boat fuel easily, and was even able to grab an extra hand grenade on the way back while still avoiding Mr. Pigman. The Del Lago boss fight is the Del Lago boss fight. We make Magic Carp splash around a lot by hitting him with some harpoons, and then he goes down disgustingly easily and disgustingly quickly. Chapter 4 is mostly a big fetch quest. After skipping past our first encounter with the Las Plagas, we hop on the boat nearby and head to the dock closest to us. Run past all the enemies, forget the code to the door real quick, and then finally get in to receive the first skull. And then after jumping down the cliff where some old men really wanted to give me some trouble for some reason, but we did finally make it to the door and back to the boat. We head on to the hidden cave where I, you guessed it, forgot the answer to the puzzle again, but did eventually gain the second skull. From here, we make a quick pit stop to pick up a fancy golden egg for the future and also take out a lunker bass on the way back for some easy merchant rewards. Oh, and don't let me forget to mention that I almost made a vital mistake and totally forgot to go back and get the actual church key, so there's that. I did have to do a little backtracking here. Then comes the next boss fight, El Gigante. All in all, it wasn't too much trouble. I held my own very well up until the little doggo pal showed up, and then we tag teamed it until the giant had finally fallen. We then run into some not so nice dogs before entering the church, solve a quick little light puzzle as per usual, and meet Ashley Graham once again, who has blue hair this time, because I like to keep things fresh. Now that we have our best friend Ashley with us, we have a church graveyard to make it through first and foremost. All we do is run past, and Ashley sticks to us pretty well this time, even though an unfortunate series of events almost led to us getting hung up here. It ended up working out. Stopping off with the merchant, I finally upgraded my attaché case and purchased the crafting recipe for flash grenades. Into the village again, we do the same thing, and thanks to Ashley almost being right with us the whole way, we're able to get to the farm fairly easily, even with only one slight hang up from Ashley. In the farm, Ashley really wanted to stay at the door instead of coming with me, so I ended up taking some damage, having to fight my way out of the farm on red health, but I was able to save it. The decision to continue to the cabin cutscene unfortunately put us in the red for the cabin fight, and the way the auto heal works didn't really allow for us to have any regen for the entirety of the fight. The strategy here is simple. Board up the window closest to where we spawn in. This allows us to only have to focus on one side of the lower floor. Survive until more boards come and continue to board up until the entire downstairs is clear and boarded. Then we head upstairs to try and get a jump on the ladder guys. The faster we can start knocking down ladders, the easier enemy management will be. Eventually a Mr. Pigman will spawn, and this time due to my health being so unfortunately low, he may have got the best of me. Oh, and also maybe this one random guy who got a lucky grab. I know it's unassisted, okay? That doesn't save you from one-shots. Anyways, I finally made it through, of course. Ashley swung in the door with her blue hair and ended Chapter 5 for us. Chapter 6 was honestly pretty typical in this run. I did sell some things in order to have enough money to purchase the riot gun here, and then repair the combat knife. The strategy in the first valley is to grab a flash grenade and throw it here after picking up the nearby large resources. This flashes everyone in here and makes a clear path for us to get through. I also grabbed the treasure in the little cabin here for some future luck. The enemies outside didn't pose any threat, so we shoot the lock to this door from the other side, getting us downstairs much easier. Have Ashley hide, then start the Bella Sisters fight. Unassisted, this was literally a joke. I mean, it literally took like 2 rifle shots, so just watch this for yourself.
I am flattered, but I'm a one-lady pet guy. Yeah, ridiculously easy. On the way out, I called Ashley near the door and threw a flash grenade to not only clear her path, but also to allow me to crank the next door open. In the Mendez chase scene, things go normally. Instead of worrying about flashes here, just use your pistol or shotgun. They'll prove much more consistent when running through here. This guy made me a little nervous on my way up, but we still made it past. Mendez is a complete joke on this difficulty, so enjoy watching the entire 2 millisecond fight. Should know your
Dude, is a miracle. Bro, you gotta be kidding me. This is a joke.
Guess your tap dancing days are over.
Oh my god.
of options, huh?
Okay. This is a little easier than I thought.
God.
Anyways, let's go to the castle. Yeah. We skip the merchant at the start of chapter 7 and head straight into the action. If you crouch as you pass this Plaga guy, it's easy to slide right past him, and as long as Ashley isn't silly. In the battlements, the first thing we will do is take care of the enemy that rushes us before heading up the stairs and shooting the sandbag to raise the cannon on the way up. This causes more enemies to spawn, but skips a whole section, making it totally worth it. After the catapult cutscene comes up, we need to pull our rifle out and shoot down numerous amounts of enemies to make our life easier.
I guess this is their idea of a warm welcome.
Shit. There we go. That might have fucked everything up, but I don't think so. Up top, an enemy decided to grab Ashley, which I in turn assassinate from behind. At the same time, a flaming catapult comes down, giving us a epic anime moment. We make it to the cannon and blow the door, but Ashley is Ashley. After that slight mishap, we make it into the castle no problem. We have our first encounter with Ramon here, and he sends all kinds of minions after us. But all we're going to do is head straight to the wall to lift up Ashley and run circles around the enemies until she opens the door. This leads us to a very creepy crawly dungeon with the Garrador, but fret not, with a flash grenade it's made all too easy. We shoot the ground here a few times on the way through to aggro the Garrador early, then walk up to the lever. By that time, Wolverine's red-headed step-cousin should be coming up on the spot where we will throw a flash grenade, or a hand grenade works just as well, and then turn the lever, giving us just enough time to make it to the ladder. Oh yeah, and I guess this sword puzzle is like way simpler unassisted? What the hell is this? Totally caught me off guard. After this is the water hall. The one guy that didn't get flashed. Did that count? No, it didn't. It literally didn't flash him because I'm going too fast. I don't even know what's going on anymore at this point. He got me. I'm dead. He got me. I saw it. I paused it at the perfect time. Please don't make me talk about it. Ashley starts to feel a little sick and we get separated. Oh no. See you in chapter 8. In chapter 8, I tried to get as many shots off on this red zealot as I could with the sniper rifle before assaulting up to him and shooting the explosive barrel and finishing him off with the riot gun to obtain the crimson lantern and our ticket to the next room. We have a small puzzle to solve after running into the love of Leon's life, and then we find yet another new enemy type. The Plaga that's not in the bodies proceeds to take over a body in front of us, but to no avail. We take it out and move on to the next battlements area, but not before stopping by the merchant and grabbing the newly available body armor, especially useful for this Frugalist challenge. I also found out you can just infinitely buy resources.
But she'll make you an ideal companion.
You can just infinitely buy resources? What the fuck? Back to work. We run right past these enemies as they don't do much, then pull the lever to open the gate, throwing a hand grenade through the grates to open the next gate and allowing us to skip around a little later on. In the next room, the enemies put up quite the fight, but we perform something similar by throwing a grenade through the tiny window slit here in order to open the next gate. Once entering the next gate, we're at red health, which is terrible because the Battlements Gigante spawns. But I guess he just throws everything slow as shit in this difficulty, so it wasn't really that troublesome, and we were able to slide right past to the cannon, thanks to the skips we utilized earlier. We blow up the big guy and take our red health bar butts onto the courtyard, where Ashley is waiting for a pep talk so we can start chapter 9. The beginning of chapter 9 in the courtyard is self-explanatory. We make our way through the maze, disposing of any wolf enemies that want to get in our way and avoid any temptations to heal. Ashley somehow got hung up the first time though, causing a game over, but the second time we made it just fine. Our first stop inside is going to be the night room. Trick here is to aim at the Plagas, poking out of them, and try to stagger them.
Once done, you can kick them and expose their plaga. Then a flash grenade will take them out, so try and pop them all at one time. Also, Ashley is useful here by throwing blue fire from the top, which effectively freezes the armor in place, making it easier for Leon to defeat them. The next stop is the library, where I try and fail to do a trick here multiple times, but finally get it. All I did was throw a flash grenade at the lever area just as the enemies started to come in. This stops them from pulling the lever and breaks them, so the walkway stays up the whole time, and we can grab the next head with ease. A hand grenade also works just as well. On the way out, Ashley kind of wanted to just stay in here, so we had to force her out as per usual. The final head is a simple puzzle. Just place Ashley here and Leon here and ring the bells for dinner, and the cage with the serpent's head will open. It should also work if you reverse the seats. I've just always done it like this. With all three heads in hand, we can place them on the Chimera in order to effectively get trapped and head into the Ashley section. Once you know what you're doing here, it's pretty short and sweet. We grab our blue lantern and head straight to the clock, because we don't need to go around to find the answer to the puzzle. We set the clock to 11:04 and head down to the night room, where we use the blue fire to hold back the knights and solve a quick puzzle to collect the Salazar family insignia. Naturally, the knights try very hard to murder us on our way back, but once we make it back to the top, the door to the next floor is automatically open for us, allowing us to place the insignia and rescue Leon at the cost of losing Ashley once again. Back as Leon, we head towards the first Novi's room. In this room, we have to avoid the devil's bugs and pull 2 levers in order to open the main gate into the next room. The 2 levers weren't too difficult to pull. Once the second lever is pulled, we jump down from the second level and move on to the Twin Garrador room. Here's the strategy I used for this room. I came around to the right to try and shoot the bell in order to get the Garradors in the same spot. That didn't really work, and this scythe guy just kind of came up behind me and got in the way. It took a lot to aggro the Twin Garradors on this difficulty, but once I did, I just spammed grenades, which ended up completely finishing the unarmored one easily, and then I finished off the armored one with a sniper bullet. With unicorn horns in hand, we were able to open the door to the next room, where Salazar sends you flying to the depths, where Leon, of course, makes dick jokes.
Talk about sticking the landing.
Throughout this section are hidden Novis that can be hard to deal with. Ideally, just have a quick enough reaction time to be able to take them down as they come up, and try to remember where they're always going to be. At the next merchant, I may or may not have purchased a rocket launcher for actual dirt cheap, and he may or may not have scolded me. Either way, we're still heading into the next room with that giant bug Verdugo. We get the power turned on for the elevator, and on the way out the monster appears. The first time, things didn't go so well.
Remote's left dock.
He killed me. I know there's got to be some freaky, somebody is into that. Somebody out there's into that. I know it. But the second time I was able to get Verdugo frozen and then equally blasted with my new toy. The elevator beckons our name after we loot the area, and we find Luis Stera at the bottom, waiting to start chapter 11. I tried to cheese my way through the dynamite rock with some heavy grenades, but it didn't work out, so I guess we'll just have to go get the dynamite. Fortunately, it's awfully quiet. We run up the stairs in order to pull the switch to lower the bridge, then head down to wait it out. Cross it as soon as it comes down and grab the dynamite. Then make a sneaky escape and place it so we can continue through the mines. Now we have the dual Gigante fight. We split up with Luis, and we take the unarmored one. It doesn't take much to defeat him, causing Luis to disappear in order to jump on the armored Gigante's back and place some dynamite for us to shoot so we can damage it. He just happened to leave me alone when I had red health and could barely run for myself, so this was a little scary for me. But once that's finally done, we're able to drop it into the lava, which is the first time I've done this here, so I got to see the cool visuals for the first time. Next is the double minecart section, which really has nothing to do with us not healing, so let's just fast forward a bit.
This it? Afraid not. Things are just getting started.
Now we have to make our way around the Novi's nest. I personally like to shoot the nest on my way around for a free merchant reward, as well as pure satisfaction. At the end, we run into an old friend, and honestly, absolutely decimate him. I was trying to get the challenge where you parry all 5 of his attacks sequentially, but I killed him a little too fast. Even though crowds are suppressed for now, we still lost a friend to end off chapter 11.
You're a fine knight.
Don Quixote. My boy. Good night, sweet prince.
This is our final push in the castle. One last battle to finally silence Ramon and come one step closer to saving Ashley and avenging Lewis. We head straight for the clock tower. Ramon Salazar tries to give us a little speech, but we ignore him. We have a clock tower to climb. On the way up, before hitting the scaffolding, we shoot the dynamite in the Salazar statue's head, effectively skipping its part in the climb. I take some time, of course, to drop some barrels on unsuspecting enemies coming up. Oh, and I died once. Honestly, I died a few times here, but that's not important. Just keep looking up and stay aware, and you'll see the enemies as they come. Watch out for crossbow snipers for sure. I wish I could take my own advice because I still haven't got the challenge of climbing the clock tower elevator without it stopping yet, but even then we still make it up this time. We make one last castle trip to the merchant for some upgrades and to sell some treasures, and then head into the fated battle with Salazar, where we throw an egg in his face. I'm serious. It does like 70% of his health. Just watch.
He called me something mean in Spanish. Oh, those are some good shots. Oh dear.
Anyways, we take his lipstick and head down the elevator, to which, at my surprise, we find 0 suits of armor ready to scare us, which is only a little insulting. Then we find a boat and an old friend, lover, and head to the island to near the conclusion of our Frugalist run. Chapter 13 starts off on the island where we storm through the initial area. If you know where you're going, all the enemies are a breeze to get past here, especially if you utilize the explosive barrels and any grenades you may have. From there, we continue to run past everything until we find Ashley's prison cell. We must find a level 3 keycard in order to get to her, but not before taking out Mr. Pigman and his goon. I sold some lipstick that I acquired recently and some nasty healing items at the merchant in order to get some more large resources for crafting flash grenades and also repairing any knife and body armor damage we had. This is the first time I came through here fast enough to see this beauty, by the way.
I never noticed that. I never saw that. I never saw him run by in the first time I played. That was genuinely very creepy.
Now that we know we are definitely not alone and the air is thick with ambience, we quickly turn the power on and head for the keycard, which is blocked by a puzzle I somehow got pretty quickly this time. With keycard in hand, we must head back to the power switch to change the direction of the power flow, and then head into the freezer to place our keycard into the keycard upgrader machine thing. There's also another puzzle in here that I spent way too much time on. While we wait for our keycard to overwrite, we are rudely interrupted by a regenerator falling from a body bag behind us. Yeah, things didn't go so well the first time.
I should probably get the scope, huh? Yeah, I should probably just get the scope.
We don't have the proper equipment to defeat it yet, so survival is our only option until our keycard is finally ready. With the level 2 keycard in hand, we can head back to the start of this segment in order to get the level 3 card. There's a thermal optic conveniently laying out for us that we have to use in order to locate a wrench in one of our pals' stomachs. After finding it and disposing of the creature that had it, we use it to loosen a single bolt that was in the way of a man who has been kicking down boulder walls the entire game and start the keycard rewriting sequence. As we wait for the level 3 card, a swarm of enemies appears, and all we have to do is ward them off and hope they don't go breaking the glass of the remaining flabby boys. They end up breaking one free, but it was towards the end of the wait, so we were able to grab the new keycard and hightail it out of there with little emotional trauma. The next hallway conveniently leads to the other side of a locked door right outside Ashley's prison cell, which we now have the proper keycard for. With Leon and Ashley reunited once again, we can head into chapter 14. Now our blue-haired heroine is back with us. She's had a newfound confidence after helping us unlock a door this time. Always so bold. At the merchant, we do the classic repair everything and head to the next room. Here, I spent like 30 minutes trying to do a speedrun trick where you clip through this door and skip the entire wrecking ball section, but for some reason I just could not get the hang of it and had to have been doing something wrong, or I'm just a normie, non-gamer loser these days. It could be both, honestly. The wrecking ball section is very much so the wrecking ball section, and does give me a little trouble due to my lack of health. However, I did discover that if you throw heavy grenades at the weak spot on the wall, it does significantly decrease its health regardless of what wave of enemies you're on. So by doing that, Ashley was able to open the way with very minimal swings. On the elevator up, Ashley makes the situation so uncomfortable the game just crashes. Oh no. I'm thinking that my game just crashed. So yes, I did the entire wrecking ball section again, before finally making it up to the top of the elevator crash-free. Here we find a giant rock, and the biggest of all cheeses, Osmond Seidler, shows himself and takes control of Ashley, which we're not really sure if she likes or not, but we have to save her regardless. Jack Krauser has made his return. In order to make it past him while taking minimal damage, the key is to stay vigilant and aware. Always be ready to perform dodges at any time, and take as many openings as you can to deal damage. Our first encounter with him is simple enough, as all we have to do is do enough damage in order to cause him to run away, so we can turn the valve to open the next door. In between segments, we run into several traps set by Krauser, including bear traps and automatic machine gun turrets. Bro, you don't understand how fucking annoying that is.
What the hell were you doing for 2 years?
There's nothing I can do about that. Just avoid or shoot the bear traps, and always be ready to shoot down the turrets. Be ready to avoid all of Krauser's projectiles by hiding behind these barriers, and be prepared to move as soon and as carefully as you can in order to continue forward. He also always throws 2 hand grenades once you get to the end, so watch out for those. We're able to kick him down one more time, causing him to get a little angry and transform his arms into their new monstrous form, which leads us into the real final battle.
Not bad. You're doing well to accept this power over yourself.
That hurt. Not good. Can't be having that. Not good. But after that, I was able to defeat Krauser.
Come on! Are you ready, rookie? Yeah. Let's settle this. I'm not surprised you made it this far. Not bad, but I didn't expect anything less. After all, I know your potential better than anyone.
I know your potential better than anyone.
Can't see the truth. Strength is everything. Weak can protect nothing.
Where you're going, there won't be anything left to protect. You'd have known that once.
That's where you're wrong. I didn't know a damn thing. Now I do. Yes. This is the moment I've been waiting for.
Damn it. This motherfucker.
Come at me, rookie. Show me what it is you've got that I don't.
Got his ass. And head into chapter 15. Finally, we get to meet our best friend Mike. Mike is a helicopter pilot sent to us compliments of Hunnigan, and he does a lot of the legwork for us here. In the first area, we mostly have to take out the enemies out of Mike's sight. So, the enemies that like to come up from behind the building and up the ladder. Once enough are defeated, Mike blows us up a pathway. Mike confidently says he'll take the load for the next area, and then proceeds to blow up a tower with turrets in front of us. However, once we run far enough into the area, the enemy raises an anti-aircraft turret, causing Mike to have to back off and leaving things to us. If you have 2 hand grenades or 1 heavy grenade, all you have to do is angle a throw up from the bottom, and this will take out the turret, skipping the entire climbing up to your own turret section. After this, Mike blows the entrance for everyone's favorite room in the original and the remake, and we're stuck doing this one alone. Use flash grenades to your advantage here. I always go for the right side switch first, and then turn back and jump down here to get a good line to the next ladder. Up the ladder, I throw a flash grenade to make it past the enemies and pull the lever, then jump down to the left as soon as feasibly possible to easily make it to the exit. This is much easier than it was in the original, because in the original you had to run all the way back to the ladder, where here in the remake we can just jump off to the left. Mike knew a good bar. Just another person to avenge. In this room, try to avoid coming into contact with the body bags, or else more Iron Maidens will drop from them. I've had up to 3 in here before. One last push and I immediately forgot about the Novi here and get grabbed, so we're doing this section on red. Blow up this explosive barrel mostly for fun and head inside and upstairs. You can run past everything and turn the switch for the laser. However, be ready to fight, or at least suppress Mr. Pigman on the way out. I always wait for him to get close to this explosive barrel and then blow it up, allowing me to kick him and run past. The exit can become very crowded, but as long as you dodge consistently and are ready to parry, you should be fine. Finally, we find Ashley again and have to endure the very long walk to Luis's lab, where we finally cure Ashley of the plaga inside her, and after we pass out, we transition into chapter 16 with Ashley saving us in return. Alright, I'll be honest with you guys, I literally just cheesed Sadler with a rocket on his first phase. Once he's defeated fully by shooting the special rocket launcher from Ada at him, we begin to make our escape. Only one more enemy stands to get in our way, and after we make it past him, all there is left is the jet ski, which really has nothing to do with us being Frugalist. Anyways, we made it to the end and survived without relapsing once, without healing once. I know it's not that impressive because it's unassisted, but whatever, sue me. I needed a break because that S Plus Pro no special weapons run is driving me insane. I also managed to get the achievement for completing the main story in under 8 hours here, which is the Sprinter achievement, since this was the first time I did it, and I clocked an easy S Plus for assisted to fill out that rank tracker. Thanks again for watching me become a Frugalist, and hopefully if you enjoyed your time here, you'll drop a like and subscribe, and also be sure to check out more of my Resident Evil content. Peace!